Okay, this is Pre-Algebra 2. This is lesson 4.4. It starts on page 175 in your book, and we're going to look at model trains a little bit later. But if you visit a model train station that has two working model trains, the trains will share like a station, but they'll run on separate tracks. So they might have the one center station, but they'll be going around. One of the train returns to the station every 4 minutes, and one of the trains returns every 6 minutes. And if both trains have left the station, when will they both return back to the station? This is something we'll look at in just a little bit, but one of the ways that we can look at this is by looking at the least common multiple. So I'll discuss that in just a second. So a multiple is a number, is the product of the number and any non-zero whole number. So it's the product of a number and any non-zero whole number, meaning it can't be zero. A common multiple is a multiple shared by two or more numbers, and the least common multiple is going to be the least common multiple. So you might like, what? Let me show you what we're talking about. So we know that one train leaves the station every 4 minutes, and one train leaves the station every 6 minutes. So we can do the multiples. Multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, and 36. Now I can find any common multiples here, and that one's going to be 12. I know that 24 is one, and actually had I kept going I would have had down the road here 36, and that would have been one. So we've identified the common multiples, and that would be 12, 24, and 36. And the least common multiple is going to be the smallest one. And so in this case, the trains will both return to the station in 12 minutes. That's the least that we're looking for here. Okay. So if you're asked how would you find the least common multiple of 7 and 8, well, you're going to write it out. You'll write it out. And the multiples of 7, and then we'll do the multiples of 8. I'm not going to draw a line, but you get what I'm doing. Okay. So the multiples of 8 are 8 and 16 and 24, 32, 40, 48, 56. I could keep going, but I don't need to. So let's see. I can just kind of go back up and down here. Oh, sorry, that's not what I meant to do, but that'll work. Let's see if I get anything that up and down to see, and I don't have anything that matches until I get all the way down there to 56. So the least common multiple of, and this is important, you have to write this, 7 and 8 is 56. Eeks, something happened here. So we can use prime factorization, or what I've been calling factor trees, to find the LCM, least common multiple, of 84 and 360. So when I do my factor trees, I have 84, that's 12 times 7. 12 breaks down to 4 times 3 times 7. And then in the end, I end up with 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. Over here, I had 360. That's 18 times 20. That's 18 breaks down to 2 times 9, 20 breaks down to 4 times 5, and we have 2 times 3 times 3 times 2 times 2 squeezed in there times 5. Now here's where the difference is between where we were finding the greatest common factor, and now we're finding the least common multiple. So make sure you understand this distinction. This is different. Part of this we're going to do is the same. So I'm going to go to the next screen because I don't have enough room here. Okay, while I was doing it, suddenly my screen zoomed out and made it big, and I can't fix it, so I'm just going to leave it like it is, but that's what happened. So we had 84 is, when I copied it over, 2 times 2 times 3 times 7, and 360 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. So we do the same thing that we would do before. We have identified, which is what we talked about, but I'm just going to redo it here. And these were the only common ones we have. So here's the distinction. I'm going to write down my sets. So I have one group of 2's here. That's this one. Okay. Times a second group of 2's. Okay. I have a 2 here that's unclaimed, so I'm going to put it there. I have a set of 3's, so I will put them there. And now I have another 3, a 5, and a 7. So the red ones were the common factors, and I don't have to repeat those. I mean, I don't have to do 2 for each one. I just have to write 1 down for those. But then I have to list for all the ones I circled in blue that there aren't 2 of, there aren't 2 pairs of, I have to also include those. And so I have the 5 here, I have the 7, I had a 2 over here, and I had a 3. So that's why this looks like this. Now I can use exponents. So I'm going to end up with 2 to the 3rd power. That was 1, 2, 3, yep. Times 3 to the 2nd power. Times 5 times 7. Again, I want to say when you have an exponent, it means, in this case, it's 2 times 2 times 2. And 3 is 3 times 3. It's how many times are you multiplying it by itself. And if we multiplied this all the way out, you would get 2,520. I know it sounds like a lot. And that is what the least common multiple is in this case. The least common multiple of 84 and 360 is 2,520. That's a big one, isn't it? So let's try to find the least common multiple of 3 and 5. I can skip count here. So I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. And here I have 5. This stylus doesn't make commas very good. It either makes them too big or not at all. 15, 20, 25, 30. And of course, these would all keep going. So let's see what we have here. It looks like 15 is the least common. And so we would say that the Remember this when you go to do your homework. The LCM of 3 and 5 is 15. Let's try another one. Let's try 12 and 16. And again, we can skip count. We can do 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. I can skip count 16, 16, 32, 48, 64, 80, and 96. I can see here that 48 is going to be my least common multiple, so I would write like I did up here. I would write the least common multiple of 12 and 16 is, in this case, it would be 48. Okay, Pre-Algebra 2, Lesson 4.4. The exercises are on 177 to 178. Your assignment today, this is a 2-day assignment. Your assignment today that needs to be turned in is numbers 12 through 19, 46 through 52. Tomorrow's assignment in class will be to do exercises 20 through 27, 29 through 33, 37, and 53 through 55. So don't get confused. If you do not finish today's assignment, you will need to take it home and do it. Tomorrow, if you don't finish tomorrow's assignment, you will have to take it. So this is 2 different days. You will use 2 different sheets of paper. You will label each sheet of paper with this top part on it, and then with the exercises on it, and all that will be on the first 2 or 3 rows. You will remember to skip a line between all problems and to write very neatly so I can read it and correct it. And if you have any questions, let me know.